This is my 9th gen Honda Civic Si, and in today's video I'm installing TEIN coilovers and forged wheels. Hope y'all enjoy watching. What is good, everyone? I'm back here in my garage today, and I'm working on my 9th gen Civic Si again. If you couldn't tell by the title, we're finally lowering the car. It's been a long time coming, and I'm real excited. So yeah, follow along as I install these coilovers. So yeah, this is the real meat and potatoes, if you're able to see. And you can see, like I mentioned, there's camber adjustment on first impressions. Just the whole thing looks very high quality. Yeah, so very happy with this. Got these two. I think these are just like dust boots, probably go over the struts. Over here, this seems to be one of the struts for the rear. This looks like the top hat for the rear. And yeah, it's just another set of the same parts, but for the other side. All right, so this is everything that comes inside the box. Laid it out here, and can I also just say the green color that TEIN uses is just so awesome. I thought it'd be smart too to sort of show off what the car looks like at stock ride height before I install the coilovers. So you can see this is just what it looks like from stock. And honestly, I'm not trying to slam the car or anything. I just want to close the wheel gap a little and still maintain a decent ride. And as mighty car mods always do, you shove your shoe in there, and you can see my whole shoe basically goes in the wheel well. So definitely need to get this fixed. I'm legitimately not even joking. We're 5 minutes in. I'm already stuck, and I'll explain what just happened. So there is this first bolt right here where you actually need like an Allen key or a hex socket. Basically, you need one on the hex socket and then a wrench to prevent it from spinning. Right here, I was trying to get it loose with an Allen key. And honestly, you're not going to have much leverage trying to get it out with the Allen key. Already a failure, like I expected. All right, quick status update. I got most of the bolts off. I got this end link. This was really giving me trouble on the other side since the bolt technically spins. I was able to get it off eventually using the combination of a few tools, but this really came in handy. This was a real lifesaver. So got that end link off. And also there was a 12mm bolt right here that attaches the brake line. That one wasn't too bad. And then there's just two plastic clips for some of these wires right here. It's all good now. Both sides are in the same place. Hopefully the rears won't be as bad. But yeah, so this is where I'm gonna call it for tonight. And the video should pick up the next morning. All right, status update. It is now the next day, and a lot has already happened. In case you're wondering why the video looks worse or looks so much different, what happened is I literally just kicked my camera over while trying to set it up, and I was using this DJI camera, and you can see it's all messed up, and this gimbal at the top doesn't work. So I'm not too thrilled about that, and probably record the rest of this video on my iPhone, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but definitely wasn't the same quality. So yeah, not too thrilled about that. As for the parts updates, I went to Home Depot this morning, got myself a 22mm socket. I'm probably gonna finish up the fronts. Hopefully we don't run into any more problems, but yeah, not a good start to the morning, that's what I'll say. All right, quick update on what's happening. I already did the driver's side, so now I'm back here on the passenger side. And what we're doing here is just taking the two 22mm bolts out. I'm gonna be honest, I found that the top one is not bad. You can get that one out pretty easily, but the bottom one, it might just be because I have a deep socket, but it was kind of annoying because the brake line kept getting in the way. Yeah, and it would probably be a lot easier if you just had like a regular socket instead of a deep socket. So yeah, I don't think this will take too much longer, just these last 2 bolts. Then just got to do the 3 on top here. And I do need to remove this plastic shielding on the top here, which is really annoying, just to try to put it back together later as well. I had to do it last time when I replaced the valve cover gasket. So I'm not looking forward to that. You can technically just use this little access port or access slot to get to the 3 bolts holding in the strut, but in general, I think it's better just to remove this plastic cover in. So yeah, that's the update for right now. Again, kind of sucks that I broke the actual camera, so now you're just looking at the iPhone camera, but it doesn't look too bad, I'll be honest. So, all right, so I got the plastic cover off. In case you're wondering how you get it off, you can check my valve cover gasket video where I show more in depth, but there's 2 plastic covers here. You basically pry off. I used a flathead screwdriver and it worked. From there, you basically remove the windshield wipers, and then everything technically should come off with a few more clips. I think it was easier this time because I already broke so many of the clips last time and it basically just fell out. So honestly, I'll take that as a win. There's some stuff I'm probably gonna have to zip tie back together, but you can see now we have access to the 3 bolts at the top holding the struts in, and that's all that's remaining. So I'm about to take these out. Right, I got the first side in. Yeah, it wasn't that difficult for right now. I just left it at the height where it came out of the box to preload. I'm gonna play around with it later. It looks like I guess a decent ride height from my estimates. I don't know, I don't really know how low it would be, so we'll see when I put the car back on the ground. But starting to get some of the bolts back in, and yeah, it's all fitting together really nicely. So again, super happy with this. Hopefully it doesn't take much longer, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side, tighten it all up and lower the front and see how it looks. So yeah. Okay, I don't know how much footage I'm going to include in the actual video, but all the clips you saw before this were from a few months ago. So a lot has happened in the few months since I installed the coilovers, got the wheels and the tires, and I'm sort of just going to recap what's happened in those few months. Starting with the coilovers, I think the install sort of left off halfway through. From what I recall, you'll probably see the front coilovers being installed, and I lowered the car, and there's not really much from installing the back or just anything else in terms of adjusting the coilovers and all that. I was really just getting frustrated with the whole process, and after installing the rears, I noticed that even though I measured everything and I thought all the coilovers were adjusted the same way, it seemed that the car was not sitting evenly. And part of it might be I should have just waited longer for the springs and everything to settle. But that was just really frustrating me. And also I just realized I made a mistake when I installed the rear coilovers. Basically the strut, I thought that there was like a nut missing, and turns out it was on the coilover the whole time. So that's why there's only like footage up to halfway through the install. I guess the only thing remaining to discuss is what I think about all the parts now that I've been driving on them for about 6 months now. And overall, I'm very satisfied. I think the coilovers definitely improved the handling a lot. It looks way better without the wheel gap.
Ride, I don't know if you can tell from this video, definitely a little more harsh than before. In my opinion, it's not totally unbearable either. I've driven some other lowered cars in the past, so I was sort of expecting this. And the good part is these coilovers have the adjustable dampening, like I mentioned, and that was a big reason why I got them. So originally I put it to the recommended setting, is you just turn the top of the strut how many clicks and adjusts how firm the suspension is. It's a little too firm in the beginning, so I made it a little softer, and I think for daily driving it's okay now. Still, sometimes there'll be some questionable moments, especially over some bigger bumps, but for the most part, I think it rides fairly well. It really depends on the roads near you. I think here in Southern California, we have some atrocious roads a lot of the times, so that definitely has to do with it. If you live somewhere where the roads are a little better, I think you won't notice too much of a difference at all. But overall, I think it handles way better, and I'm very happy with the purchase, and I think it was an amazing upgrade. Yeah, so I'm super happy with the parts that I chose. The TEIN coilovers, the Titan7 wheels, Continental tires. I think I've already mentioned, I probably could have went with cheaper alternatives for all the parts, right? How I lowered the car, to the wheels that I got, and even some of the supporting mods. Totally could have found cheaper ways to get it done. For me though, this isn't something that makes sense to most people, right? It's a 9th gen Civic. Out of all the Civic SIs out there, I think the 9th gen Civic already is the one that gets the least amount of love most of the time. And there's really not that much aftermarket support for this platform. But for me, it's not something that had to make sense. Like I mentioned, this was a car that I had throughout college where I've always wanted to mod this car. I've had my eyes on these mods for years now, and I'm finally at a place in my life where I'm able to afford them without, going totally bankrupt. So for me, it really feels like I'm achieving my goals. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and I'm just really happy that I'm able to do so. And I think that's true for a lot of car mods. I think car mods don't make sense to a lot of people, especially to non-car enthusiasts, to spend a boatload of money modifying a car. And that's the thing, it doesn't really need to make sense to most people. It just has to make you happy. And that's really what I embodied with these mods, is just what have I really wanted to do to my car for so long, and how do I want to sort of start building my car. That being said, there's still a lot on the horizon, a lot of other mods that I want to do, just a lot I want to do to this car in general. At the same time, I do think there will be a point sometime in the near future where I've done as much as I can to this car. Like I was mentioning before, 9th gen Civics just don't have that much support, and I understand why. Technically speaking, the 8th gen that came before it and the 10th and 11th that came after it are superior platforms in many different ways, and I admit that. And when the time comes, it probably means I'll have to move on to a different platform, a different car. I'm not necessarily saying that I need to sell this car, but just maybe getting myself into a different project. For me, I just want to enjoy this as much as I can in the moment, and I'll worry about all that down the line. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Honestly, not even sure what's going to be going in the video. The coilover install, I only have footage up to halfway through that install after some technical difficulties. Definitely will be producing more content coming very soon. Definitely trying to do more high quality content in 2026, investing in some proper gear, and just placing myself in opportunities to film content for you guys. I also have my Instagram. I have a TikTok now where I actually make daily or almost daily car news. So if that's something you're interested in, I would really appreciate if you guys show me some support there. But yeah, besides that, like the video if you enjoyed it, leave some comments. Yeah, I'll have some great content for you guys coming up. So appreciate the support as always, and see you guys in the next one.